Aloha, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is not Aloha Monday. I was hoping to go live yesterday, but by the time I got home from the North Shore and decided to take what I thought was going to be a 1 hour nap, it turned into a couple-hour nap. And yeah, I overslept. So here we are today. And guys, I'm kind of happy I did oversleep yesterday because not only is there some more not really real information about our two missing moms out of Kansas, but there's some more information for us to read about. Okay, not new stuff, but they've been able to get some more video, things like that. But last night I was able to come across a new case that, guys, how many times do we have to have a child go into the system only to disappear and not be discovered as missing forever? This was one of them. How many others? So we've got that. Plus, there is an update that we are going to go over in a few seconds. For those of you who have been following missing for a while, it looks like Dylan Rounds' body was found. And we will go through a video on that. However, I do want to say some real quick hi there, hey there's. It is our dear Thea, who, yes, Thea, one of these days we're going to talk Hawaii paranormal. Oh my gosh, are we? Hawaii is loaded with paranormal. I can't wait to talk about it someday with you, my dear. Can't wait to talk about that. And we're going to have so much fun with that. So, and Chris, how you doing, Chris? And also, yeah, we are overloaded with, the cases right now. I know right now everything's going nuts with what's going on with the update, considering, hey, we got other people popping in. Grave Evidence Podcast with Avery. Hello, Avery. Hello. And In the Bushes. And yes, we're going to do that. So In the Bushes and Seal, you guys, oh my gosh, people have really been helping in with a lot of these because this has been a lot to look at today. But the Dylan Rounds bit is one thing we have to, many of us have been looking at Dylan's case for, gosh, so long now. So long. It feels like most of my YouTube life, put it that way. And hey, Miranda. I like. And of course, I always say names wrong, so I'm sorry if I did. Is it Maradona? There you go. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. And would you guys stop barking, please? But yes, you guys want treats. Okay, I'll give them the good stuff now. So, you know what? I over the weekend have been completely, utterly in an area that did not have good Wi-Fi, which has been killing me. So I am going to be going on. I'm going to go check that out, Avery, for sure. I had all these dreams that my Wi-Fi was going to be wonderful. Every one of those videos that I uploaded literally took almost anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to upload. It was driving me crazy. So I did a lot of reading on this, while I was up there. A hell of a lot of reading. So, and yes, it's me, Rhonda. Oh my God. Okay, now I got it. See, it takes a little while for me to get things. What can I say? And also, oh gosh. But let me ask real quickly. So we have 3 cases here. And as we go through them today, I know there's a couple of you guys who have been going on this walk with me about the 2 children. And, but let's just, yes, Chris, thank you. The more we're going to be sharing those out. And I'll have to share that one out too. So, BC is here too. BC was helping us out with this. We've had a lot of going back and forth, especially with the 2 kids, because guys, I'm really getting pissed at this. It feels like once every couple months we hear of another case of children who, to me, the moment a child goes missing, we should be falling over our feet trying to get it reported and find them and stuff like that. And how often we hear, oh yes, my child is missing. Oh great, when was the last time you saw them? Well, it's been a couple years. I'm sure that's not how it came across with them, but that's basically what's happened. in this case we're going to talk about a little later today. And we have an adopted mom who reports her 15-year-old as missing. And when the police and law enforcement come in to start the investigation, they find out there's a missing sibling who has been missing even longer. Both of these have not been seen, okay? The 15-year-old has not been seen since 2022, it looks like. It's ridiculous. I mean, how? How does this happen? And patriotism's here. Hello, Everett. How you doing, my dear? And so we're going to do that. But in the meantime, first, because I know a lot of us have been watching, and we've been watching for, gosh, what is it, about a year and a half, almost 2 years? And so Dylan, many of us, put a one in chat if you guys have followed Dylan and remember Dylan's case. We have been following him, and there is justice going forward for him. But one of the things that we were waiting on was to bring closure to his family by having remains. We talk all the time about, not knowing is the hardest thing. Not having a place you can go and be with your loved one is horrible. And that's what happens so often. Yeah, we've got our ones here. So we're not going to watch this whole video, but for those of you who have been following his case, and let me just make this a little bigger so I can show titles here too. So East Idaho News, as you guys know, has done some of the most amazing work with covering this as well as many other cases. Daybell case, for example, big time, really good work on their stuff. So they did come out with the breaking news that Dylan Round's remains were found. So let's go ahead, start watching this. I know I wasn't going to talk about this, but when it broke, we've got to, because this is the next step. Justice is going to happen. It was working its way towards justice to begin with. This is going to clinch it. This will clinch it for him. So here we go.
I'm Nate Eaton with EastIdahoNews.com. We have some breaking news to bring you right now.
That's way too fast. Well, we'll take it just to normal. Okay, let's try that.
The body of Dylan Rounds has been found. Dylan Rounds, his remains have been found in the remote area of Lucin, Utah. Dylan is the young 19-year-old who vanished over Memorial Day weekend back in 2022. He was a farmer. He moved to the desert town of Lucin, Utah, which is in northern Utah, kind of near the Nevada border, when he vanished. And his family tells me that this morning his remains were found near or in Lucin in a remote area. That's all the information that we have at the moment from his family. Of course, Rounds had been missing since May of 2022. The 19-year-old spoke with his mother on the phone right before he vanished, and his family has spent the past 2 years searching for answers. His mother, Candace Cooley, tells me that as part of a plea agreement with James Brenner, the man accused of killing Dylan, Brenner led the investigators out to the site where the remains were on Tuesday morning, which would be today, on April 9th, in case you're just tuning in, or you're watching on another day.
So for those of you, I think most of us followed this. And first of all, yeah, Sleuth really did a lot of coverage on this case initially. So one of the first thoughts that popped into my mind, actually KK sent me the message, and then I was sending it out to a couple people. And Dylan had gone, he loved farming, and he had gone out there to make something of his life doing these things. And then when he disappeared, everything for how long this went all over the place trying to talk. Oh, no, I don't know. You know how that goes. And, but his parents were relentless. Okay. They spoke up. Okay. They were there doing interviews. They were talking to people. They were like, you know what? If we don't keep our son's name in the press, you know what? Who's speaking up for him? Someone has to. So yeah, look at it. He's a kid. Exactly, Tim. He's a kid here, guys. This is not, it's just, but because of the age, you never know. People start getting into the questions of, oh, well, maybe they just ran off and they did this, or what about this? And no, bad things happen to anyone. It doesn't matter your age or anything like that. And yeah, this has to be bittersweet. It really honestly has to be bittersweet for them because, yes, they have him, and thank God they were led to him this time. Okay. But it takes away that last sliver because as long as you don't have that body, there's always that sliver of, but what if, and that does take that away. Oh yes, Tim, we all remember that. He was just a baby. So much of his life still set up. So much of it.
They got there, they found those remains, and they have been recovered. Now, Brenner is charged with aggravated murder and abuse or desecration of a human body in connection to Round's death. Let me show you just how remote
Justice
this
is
area
happening.
is. That's where Dylan was farming. That was his camper. That was his truck. And you can see there's not much around
We
this
know the
area.
truth, don't we?
It really was a desolate area. James Brenner, this is the man who is facing those charges. He, again, must have said something to investigators or cooperated or something. We don't have all of the details at this point.
Finally get a heart.
But they do have the remains because of where James Brenner led them. This is a spot where James Brenner had his camper. He lived near Dylan Rounds out there. Both of them were in separate campers.
And we're not going to watch this full video.
And when,
just up to
when Dylan's family
point,
went out to begin looking for him in late May of 2022, they found his boots right there behind that mound of dirt, which was some distance off. And there was also a shed right by James Brenner's camper. This is what that shed looked like. And within a few days of Dylan disappearing, James Brenner cleaned that shed to the point of how it looks now. You know, it doesn't look very clean, maybe to some of us, but he did remove bags out of that shed, according to Dylan's family, and he did take those to an undisclosed location. And so all of this would likely have come into play if there was a trial. It still could, as far as evidence. But as I mentioned, according to Dylan's family, as part of some sort of plea deal, Brenner took the authorities to the area
These
where
are the times
Dylan's body was, and they were able to find it. I spoke with Dylan's family. They, of course, are a lot of emotions tonight. This has been such a mystery for 2 years now. But Candace did ask me to convey, we thank everyone for their support and love. We are grateful we now have Dylan's body and can bring him home as we continue our fight for justice. And unclear when Mr. Brenner will appear in court again. There was a hearing scheduled for this month, but at last check, that was delayed.
Change a lot of stuff.
However, now with the recovery of Dylan's body, it could be had sooner rather than later. I want to show you on a map just where this.
So there's more of this. For those of you guys who want to, I'm going to put the link in chat. The rest kind of goes into some basic where everything was and all that. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. I can tell you, those of you who don't follow Sleuth, get your butts over to Sleuth and check out her stuff on this case. She really, as mentioned here, I mean, this case brought a lot of us together. Okay, it was one of those cases that did bring a lot of us together. It also, while it showed us the really strong way the social media can pull people together and create strength and love and caring and all that, it also showed us the really bad side of social media. Okay, some of what was done to the family is unforgivable. Okay, it's not up to me to forgive or any of us to forgive. It's up to the family to forgive. But I mean, a lot of what was done, horrible. Did he give up the location? Yes, he gave up the location and he took them there. I think it was yesterday, if I heard correctly. And also, it would have been a never-ending search. They would have been looking forever, trying to figure out where he was. And this, you know what? No matter what he did and all that, at least, wouldn't it be great if other people, i.e. the Kaluas, others just put the list of names in there right now, could actually stand up and give a little peace and closure to the rest of the families they have destroyed? And if you don't know who I'm talking about Ariel here, who is still not found because someone will not come out and take ownership for what they did. And so, yeah, it's just so that at least we'll see how it affects things now. You may find that things will move. Yeah, that's what I'm taking it, is that we've got the guilty, things will kind of move forward. I don't know what the plea deal. I don't know if anyone's read anything about the plea deal on this. But it sounds like there's definitely some changes that we'll see happening very soon on that. So we'll see what happens in that. I'm just happy that the family now, it's bittersweet, definitely bittersweet, but they can start to see some level of closure at this point. So moving on, let me real quickly switch us over from Dylan to our two mothers. Not sure how many of you guys have been following this case over the weekend and everything else. Gang, this is one of those times that a case seems to be going on and on and on, and there's literally zero information being shared. And guys, I get it. Okay, sometimes there's reasons why information is not shared. Okay, and work is being done and things like that. But right now, there's like no one talking. Okay, family are being told don't say anything. People aren't even sure if the information that is being shared out there among the public is even real. Okay, we heard things about a hammer or blood or broken windows and all that, yet nothing's being confirmed. Okay, so many different possibilities. If we're talking speculation, it's all over the place. News Nation has really been doing a good job at trying to cover a bunch of whatever they could and at least give these two women a voice, because otherwise there is no voice being given to these women at all. Love it, love it, Everett. Thank you. Yeah, because there are 6 children missing their moms. And right now, nothing happening over it. So today, News Nation, like I said, they have been really trying to bring as much stuff to the forefront as possible. They themselves went out and started knocking on doors, trying to find out information. Of course, they kept getting, that wall being brought down in front of them. But a lot of what they did do, and why I wanted to show the videos as compared to just reading articles or anything about it or telling you guys the stories, is that there are a lot of, they were able to get drones out into the area. They were able to get video footage of right at the area where the car was found, which is helpful for us. And yeah, BC, they were giving us some basic information. Okay, basically it was very generic, but at least they were talking then. But it shut down all weekend. There's been nothing. Now there's been a lot of, from what I've seen at least, we'll be giving you some information soon, but soon isn't happening at all. And it's, as for speculation, I mean, you guys can throw them in chat what you guys think happened here. I mean, we have every thought out in the world. I mean, there's thoughts, could grandma be involved in it? Could it be something related to a different side of any of their lives? Could it be trafficking? We're starting to hear a lot of information about this area being a really, really bad area for trafficking, drugs, things like that. A lot of us were just talking a few minutes. Hello, Marianne. How you doing, my dear? Happy Tuesday. We were talking about how what is thought by most people now is that whatever happened, that made them stop that car. Did they have a press conference? Did I miss the press conference today? I do know News Nation actually spoke, but I did not catch the press conference today. And so let me know if I missed that and everything. So other than that though, did someone get them to pull over? Whether it was okay, setting up something, okay, that they were hurt on the side of the road or something like that, and came in and got the, okay, maybe there was a broken window or something, but then pushed them into another vehicle. How do you get two women out like this? Okay, it's not easy to control two grown women, especially if they're fighting for their lives. So nothing new. Okay, great. Thanks. Sorry, I was with this next case that we're going to talk coming up right after this. I was so deep looking at information on that I was like, uh-oh. And also, LG, hey, you're just Hawaiian time, girl. That's all. Oh no, your kiddo's sick. I hope she's feeling, yeah, she's been working hard. You've had a lot going on with, you know what? Preteens, they get doing 5 million things at once and their bodies will come down with the flu. Never fails. Yeah, thank goodness Dylan has been found. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm so happy for it, but my heart breaks at the same time because families having to deal with those emotions. Okay, you're riding emotions here, and then you kind of get to a level where you can deal with day in, day out life, and then this happens and it just tears you apart. And just horrible. So anyhow, this first thing, oh, Joy is here. Hey, you're not running late. I'm just like a day late from yesterday and a day early for tomorrow. That's all. So how you doing, Joy? And also hope you've been doing good, my dear. So News Nation did do a bunch of things, and there were 2 different articles. I only thought one. What I'm really finding interesting is multiple journalists on News Nation are picking up this case. Not just 1 or 2, multiple. Exactly, Barbara. By the way, welcome, my dear. But exactly, you say it perfectly right there. Okay, happy they got their baby back, but it's bittersweet and heartbreaking. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So, and hello, Lioness. How you doing, my dear? So let's go ahead and start this. This is about a 3-minute clip here. What I really liked about this is it shows us the location. Okay, more video of where the area is so we can get a better picture in our head. Also, we start to get a better idea of where they were going. The Four Corners gas station is kind of like this abandoned gas station, and that's where they were going to go to meet with the grandmother of the 2 children. Okay. And the question is, we know they never got there. Okay. There's been no answers as to was anyone ever there who actually, okay, we're hearing that it was actually, okay, not grandma who reported them missing. It was actually a husband it's just a lot of different things going on with this. So here we go.
Oklahoma Road hold the answers to what happened to 2 mothers who disappeared. 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jilian Kelley went missing March 30th. They were traveling to pick up Butler's kids amid a custody battle with her ex, but they never arrived. Police found their car empty and abandoned on the side of this road you see here in Texas County, Oklahoma. News Nation has been on the ground in Oklahoma.
By the way, it's Veronica's husband who found the vehicle from what we're being. Now, what's weird though is initially we were being told the police found it, but now it's coming out that it was Veronica's husband who came across it. So could that have just been a misreporting? Very, very possibly. Okay, but it does bring up a lot of questions also.
But so far have seen no evidence of search efforts by police. Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says it is looking in the area that the car was found, but locals tell us they haven't seen any signs of a search. So where do police think these 2 missing women are? News Nation correspondent Laura Engel joins us now live from Hugoton, Kansas, where both the women lived. Laura, are you hearing anything new from law enforcement?
You know, we've been reaching out to people all day long, Elizabeth. The OSBI telling us just this afternoon that they are continuing their search and they hope that they will be able to find these women alive. Still, we've been talking with people all day long in this town, many who do not want to go on camera. In fact, all of them don't want to go on camera. And they all seem to know somebody. Everybody knows somebody, which means they might know somebody who could be involved or have information. Everybody seems to be pretty fearful of talking with us. But still, the the answer is out there. They want it to know where these women are. And we have video to show you. One friend of Veronica, Butler, told us this feels like a black cloud has really been hanging over them, just hoping that they are going to be okay after their abandoned vehicle was found on that rural dirt road we told you about in Texas County, Oklahoma, Easter weekend. We got our drone up and over the scene of this extremely desolate area to show you what the terrain looks like and how far away the nearest town or working gas station is from where the SUV was found, where investigators say there were signs of foul play. We also walked the road where the vehicle was found. Take a look here.
So guys, this is just
So
amazing.
right down at the end
I'm
of
just going to stop here for a second. And also, once you get the drone, okay, drones really give us a good idea of this. We've been looking at it on Google Earth and all that. But once you start seeing this area, okay, if they had any thought whatsoever that these women were in the area, grid search should not be that hard to do here. Okay, this is why there's not like kills and stuff like that. It's a fairly safe search pattern to pull off. Okay, they could even breathe, and maybe they're doing a search by using drones and all that, but no one's seeing any proof of that. And I think that's why so many people are thinking now, you know what? I think they probably think these two were taken by vehicle to another location. And there's been some discussion about that. But this has to be, you've got a small, how many of you guys live in small towns or have ever lived in a small town? Okay. Oahu is a big town. I'm sorry, it's an island, but it's huge. But I lived on Kauai for years. It was teeny tiny. Everyone knew everyone. You knew everything that was happening. Okay, if that had happened there, you would have run into the same thing. No one would talk on camera. Everyone would be scared of saying something and something happening, especially if it's foul play related. Especially if it's foul play related. And so you're not seeing that, but you're seeing people scared. Okay, because also with a small town, if you feel that you might be a threat to someone else and that person's bad, it's going to make you scared also. So I think the police, yes, they've got to keep things quiet, but at some point they need to let the town know, okay, more than, oh, it's safe, you're fine, you're fine. They've got to give them a little bit more than they're giving them right now. Because I guarantee you, if we're all talking this way, among their small little groups, they're talking 10 times more. Okay, yep, everyone knows everyone and everything about everyone. And that maybe that's what they're depending on in law enforcement, is that people do that. And they'll all start talking to each other. Maybe that's what's happening. If they can get people talking, okay, privately, that someone will say something and then they'll come in and talk to the police. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I
This dirt road is Highway 95. We are on Road L, and you can see we're a pretty good distance in. And right down here, we have found a stick with yellow ribbons and flowers. And right over there on that telephone pole is a white cross with yellow flowers and ribbons and the women's name written on that cross. The question here remains, why are we so far down off of this road? What happened that day when they were driving on Highway?
So that's something that has changed for us. For those of you who haven't caught that, what was just said there, a lot of us thought that the vehicle was found on the main portion of the road. It was inward some. Okay, it was not right there on the road. It was kind of in a bit. Okay, why would they have gone off in that way? Something led them to that for sure. And
Highway 95. Yeah, so that was a little bit surprising to see how far away the car was. We will bring you more when we hear from investigators on the ground.
Boy, I hope you hear something soon. Laura Engel reporting live from Kansas. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching.
So that's what we got this morning, was a little bit of that. And the big part I wanted you guys to see from that part was that, okay, going back here to where, okay, we all know when you do the memorial stuff is not usually, okay, crosses, okay, photos, little memorials are not put somewhere else. They're usually put right on the road where that person had the accident or whatever. Okay, that's how it usually is. So This is telling us something that we did not know before this. They pulled over for a reason. Exactly, Joy. Someone or something made them pull over. Two women, I don't care who you are not going to pull over on a road nowadays unless there's a serious reason to do that. Okay, you want to make sure you're safe, number one. This is an area that's out in the middle of nowhere. And so what all connected in with all that? So, but we do have these areas now that we can look at that are telling us. We can see sheds that are nearby. Were they forced off the road? Those are the things we don't know. And all.
Written on that.
That gives us an idea. Now, right before I went live, what we got from Chris here, I'm wondering if there's anything that stood out about that area or the road. Good question. It's only about 3 miles away from the gas station where they were supposed to meet Grandma. And by the way, that Avery, good question there, because you know what? People know people's personalities. Not saying, and that's the thing. We don't know where it is. And that's the problem with speculation. It's going to become more and more. Okay, there's going to be a lot more speculation the longer and longer things go, because people start wondering. I'm thinking more and more, yes, there's Grandma, but there's also this stuff that we're starting to hear more and more about trafficking and stuff. If they knew this one, yes, exactly, a hitchhiker setup. Okay, I'm going to just, guys, okay, I don't want any of us to get so focused on one possibility that we forget all the other possibilities. Okay, but what if it was just someone that didn't even know them, for example? Okay, we're hearing about trafficking. Could someone truly have been seeing them every week, every Saturday? Okay, she would drive down there to visit her kids. Okay, if it's not related to family or, okay, any interpersonal things going on there, could someone have planned on that and set up it, like BC's saying, a hitchhiker setup, something like that? Yeah, you're right, Everett. People aren't even mentioning her by name. Okay, they were heading up to pick the children up. Birthday. It was a birthday party. They wanted to take her daughter out for her birthday, which is sad because this little girl now will spend the rest of her life, most likely, with this horrible memory tied to this. Even if she doesn't know about it right now, which is what we were being told initially, that the kids, at least on that side, were not being told about anything happening. Even if that is true, at some point they will find out. And her birthday is always going to be tainted by all this. And which is what's so sad. Everett, possibly, oh, wait here. They will not even, yep. And Chris is saying possibly a local who have everyone scared. Yeah, very possible. People do the carjacking stuff. When we were driving up to the North Shore, I was being careful because I know, okay, you go through certain areas that you're not necessarily the most safe on. And so BC, I'll be honest, and that's one reason why I kind of push off of the idea of Grandma a little bit more than most people. Just because, first of all, I don't want to zero myself in on one idea, because that's when I stop looking at idea possibilities out there. But is it possible a grandma could do something to hurt? Okay, and it would hurt her grandchildren in the long run. It would. And yes, it's always possible. Okay, I think the kids are still with Grandma. Okay, and that also says something to me. Routines are definitely never, routines become a big problem. Think about it. When you're leaving your house, it's the first thing you're thinking of. Okay, what are the routines that, okay, a robber might recognize are not being followed anymore? Okay, lights going on, okay, set times, things like that. So yeah, so that's first of all what we have here. Now, I didn't think we were going to hear anything else, and then all of a sudden, right before I went live, I caught something new. Now, where is this? Here it is. Of course, my computer has been being really slow all day, so let's see how this works. Let me try to share this out. Okay. We had an update. Sorry, I'm having a little slowdown on a certain website page. Let me go to Facebook real quick and pull it up there. And one of these days, I'm just going to buy a freaking new computer. Oh, of course, now that freaks down. So I'm going to keep talking until I can do that. So we started getting other people reporting on what is going on in this case. And what we got from Everett here. For the thing I'm working on, would you like to? Yeah, I would love to talk to someone, definitely. And I'm always open to guests, for sure. I want to talk with them first and kind of get some ideas and stuff to see what's going on. Y'all know all my rules about things. In fact, I have some potential guests popping up in the near future on some other cases, actually, too. So, I hate it when my computer plays this game. I really hate this. So let me do this. I am going to shut that down and open up a new one. Wow, what is going on here? Okay. Sorry, guys. My computer decided to play games with me. So let's do this. Mystery Thickens. Here we go. See if this will pull up. Yeah, there it goes. So on Cuomo earlier today, they popped up with another article. So let me pull this over for you guys. And there's a little bit more information because of what Everett was saying that, okay, they had the updated press conference to go off of. So, but what I really appreciated from this is we're starting to get multiple reporters talking about things, which is always nice. Always nice because you know what? It's great to have them on the news, but multiple channels, even better. So this is a little longer, but it does go into a little bit more of what is going on locally. And also, here we go.
A lot of media on this Kansas mom story is making too
exactly
much
what I was talking about
of the silence. Look, we saw this with Koberger in Idaho. Sometimes the cops are doing their job and they're not into the celebrity part of the business. And they don't want their sources out. Sometimes there is integrity to the non-disclosure. Is that the case here? I don't know. We'll find out when they finally do say something. But I got to tell you, sometimes the silence can get deafening. And when it comes to Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley, now we understand why they were together, right? One was the supervisor for the visits. The other one was the mother going to see their kids, right? Going to pick up Butler's children. They never got there. The car was found abandoned in Oklahoma. State investigators say they had evidence to indicate foul play, but since then, no meat on those bones. Normally...
So there, I want to pull this. So for those of you who may have forgotten what everything looked like and everything, okay, this gives you a really good idea of where everything was found. Okay, where they left from Hugoton, Kansas. Were coming down when they got to that one area where they had to turn left to go down. Well, I'm estimating left into Ava, Oklahoma. And it was right after that where all that happened. The school that they're showing there is the same school, okay, that Veronica actually went to. And
there would be all this search and all these people and the family, help us, help us. Not here. Let's bring in News Nation correspondent Laura Ingle on the ground, real pro, trying to get answers. And we have another real pro, former FBI agent, News Nation law and justice correspondent Jennifer Coffindaffer. First of all, Ingle, now we understand that this wasn't exactly in the middle of nowhere. They had a reason to be where they were going. What were they trying to get to in terms of a meetup spot?
Yeah, Chris, well, it's both, right? It's the middle of nowhere, but they had a reason going from one section of Kansas where I am now in their hometown, just past the state line into Oklahoma, to meet up with a guardian of the children for Veronica Butler, ages 6 and 8 years old. This was a designated court-approved visitation that is supposed to have a supervisor. She's supposed to have a supervisor with her on each and every Saturday. And there was a list. We went through the court documents, and there were...
Just a reminder, all of these court documents and everything have pretty much been sealed since. It's really hard to get your hands on a lot of the discussion because they have shut things down pretty heavily on this. There's still copies out there, okay, because people did get a bunch of things, but just FYI. Hello, Robbie. Love you, my dear. And
4 people listed as approved supervisors. And on that list is the pastor's wife, Jilian Kelley. She was the one that day on that Saturday that took the drive with Veronica Butler. They came 3 miles short of their destination. It's an abandoned gas station in a section called Four Corners. It's right off of a highway. You almost couldn't make it.
So there's the gas station itself. Now, I did also hear something else. I'm not sure if any of you guys heard this, that she did not go often with Veronica. Okay, Jilian actually was not like the regular. There was a list of 4 people, and there were other people who would normally go. This was, I think I even read somewhere, and I haven't been able to verify this, so this is just reading from what people are doing, that this was, okay, one of the first times in a while she had done this. And so that needs to be brought into play also.
It up. We went there and we took our cameras to show you just how desolate it looks. There's no lights, there's no cameras, there's absolutely nothing out there. And that is the location where they were supposed to meet the grandmother of these children. The father's mother is who has custody right now. But again, 3 miles short, didn't make it. The fiance of Veronica, Butler, is the one who got worried and started driving, looking for the vehicle. And the other thing that we shot and we filmed yesterday, we went on this desolate road. And when I first heard that the car was on the side of the road found abandoned, I kind of thought it was on the side of the highway, but it was actually in a little bit. We're showing you drone footage right there of getting up and over it. But we also walked down that dirt path to show you just how far off the beaten path it really was. It was 1,000 feet in from the main road, and we found a kind of a makeshift memorial. We found a white cross with yellow ribbons. There's yellow ribbons you can see here behind me all over this town, tied to every tree and lamppost, and their names are written on that. We don't know who left it there, but clearly somebody who, you know, people don't have a really good feeling how this is all going to turn out. The OSBI, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, we've been after them every single day that we've been on the ground, and they keep telling us, you know, we are investigating, we are searching, we will let you know when we find something. When we got here, I was expecting to see a grid search, canines, not seeing that. That's not what's happening. But the OSBI does tell us that they're doing their own search in their own way and to stand by. Chris?
Quick thing, Laura, did the grandmother show up with the kids?
Great question. That is one that we have asked. There is no, we just don't know. We've asked investigators about that. We've asked family members. A lot of these look, people are really scared to talk about this case. Everybody in this town knows somebody. Everybody's connected. Nobody wants to talk about who they know and what they know.
And to me, that's why I can't help but think it's something connected in with that area. And hey, Siren, how you doing, my dear? Hope you're feeling better. And when you've got people who are scared of talking, okay, that are in a small location like that, that usually leads you to thinking it's something local. Because if they were talking about something outside of their purview, it's not as scary. It's like me, okay? If I was going to be talking about something that happened in my neighborhood, I'd be a lot more scared to say that than if I was going to be talking about something that happened in LA, for example. Okay, we talk about that quite often. In fact, Sleuth and I've talked about that before. For example, when I'm talking about things with Ariel, it pulls on a different thought process for me. Okay, because I do know people locally. Okay, I know how people think, things like that. BC, no, I have not. I will have to look for that. That was my problem. I am so far out of everything right now because of this weekend and how bad my Wi-Fi was. Okay, I got to take a look at that one for sure. There's a lot, there's a lot of I don't know, or I don't want to say anything, or oh, I'll tell you this, but I won't say it on camera. To me, something as easy as, and I'm sorry, guys. And like I said, I agree with what you said earlier about Grandma. I don't know how much. I'm not saying it's not possible at all, but I'm not saying, oh, yeah, it's definitely this. I'm somewhere in the middle with that one. But how hard is it to say, did she and the kids show up at the gas station? I mean, for that to actually not be an issue, okay, it fill in the blank. And so I don't know. Yeah.
For fear, it sounds like, of retaliation. There was a very bitter custody battle going on. In fact, Chris, 10 days before these women went missing, there was a court filing by Veronica Butler to get more visitation time, to get full custody. She wanted to see her kids more. And it laid out in these court documents that things had not been going well between the grandmother and her. 10 days later, she's gone. Is it connected? We just don't know. It could be something entirely different.
Hey, thank you for watching.
So
please go to.
That's interesting when you do, and that's the only thing. The timing of everything with the court case and all that is just so. Sometimes it's the easiest thing is where the answer is. Sometimes it's very easy to go running after the easiest solution and grab onto that and stop looking at everything else. And that's what's important for us to do. So that kind of gives us where we are with this case here. Hopefully we'll hear some more in the near future and be able to get some answers on that. However, here we go. This is, let me ask you guys in chat, put a 1 in chat if you have heard of the name, okay, London Deven or Blake Deven. Have you heard about their case of the 2 teenagers who have gone missing, and the FBI has just gotten involved in their cases? Love to hear how many, and while you guys are doing that, I'm having to pull up my picture and my videos the old-fashioned way. And so I came across this case last night. I was trying to fall asleep, and I do what I do a lot of nights is I find myself over on Web Sleuths, and I came across the name Blake Deven. And I had not heard of this case. Okay, I guess this child was reported missing. Looks like from his adopted mom. But even that's hard to verify right now. But it's the only information that seems to be making sense from what we're gathering. Yeah, Seal, it's so interesting. We got a 1 here, and it's so interesting, gang. Really, really interesting. Let me see real quickly and pull this up right here. We'll start with this one. So what ended up happening is one child was reported missing. The police go in to visit adopted mom, find out, okay, let's go into this. It wasn't a 911 call or anything like that. Oh, I'll do that right now, my dear. Is that okay, actually, before we do that, since you brought this up, let me real quickly pull up what was, hey, Dan! Yes. Bingo, exactly. I forgot those were connected. See, that's what happens. My head goes all over the place, especially right before I go on vacation. You're right, Dan. And, okay, let me get this up so I can share with you guys what BC just sent me. So BC just sent me the video of after they were tracked and how they were all shook, kind of shooken at the time. Or shaken, something like that. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So BC, is this something we need to play the whole thing, or is it better just to kind of, let's see. Actually, it looks like I'm kind of looking through the whole thing right now, and we may have to play the whole thing. So I'm going to play it, and
very
then we'll
desolate,
see.
And suddenly you found yourself followed. Did I get any of that wrong? And take me from there.
Here we go.
So we started off our day in Oklahoma City, where we went to the OSBI, and we've been making our way slowly to the area where the women's SUV was found. And we know that they were supposed to meet up at this abandoned gas station, the Four Corners, which we went to, and we checked that out. And then we took this right on Highway 95 to see if we could just quickly find the spot where the women's SUV was located, Road L and Highway 95. We turned off And we looked around and we really, we've been reporting on it, and we knew as our team put a safety plan in place together for ourselves, saying, let's all watch each other's backs.
Wow, that's interesting. For for them to go shows what these journalists do when they're diving into a case like this. And these are the things that we don't think about doing when we're covering cases. And this is why we got to be careful. They're putting these plans into place and stuff. By the way, Joy, you are amazing, Joy. Thank you again so much, so much. And Dan has already said thanks to Joy, and I'm happy you got it, my dear. And because Dan was helping me with cases earlier too. But oh my God, thank you both. First, Dan, welcome to the group. You can see some of the videos that literally took me 45 minutes to an hour to upload over the weekend now because you're a member. And also, and Joy, thank you so much. So, but yeah, very interesting here how they put all these things together. And just something to keep in the back of your mind when we're talking about YouTubers just going out and doing all sorts of stuff.
Share our location with other people. We got to this location and I filmed it. You can see it right there. Road L is actually off of 95. A bit more than we expected it to be. Now, exactly where the car was is between that area and where this cross was found. We found this white cross with yellow ribbon. The women's names are on that cross. Who placed it there, we don't know. But our plan was to show this to you, to film it and get out of there. And when we went to turn around to go back down this long dirt path, Road L, this big black truck with tinted windows pulled up and seemingly looked like it was going to start to block us. And our plan all along was if we see somebody coming down the road, let's all get in the car and get out of here, which is exactly what we did, driving back towards the gas station and getting back over here to a well-lit area so we could report to you tonight. But the point was to show you where the SUV was found. There has been no information about what has happened to these women. We have been pressing the OSBI for days now, for over a week. We don't have any answers. We know that nobody's talking. And Ashley, you and I have been doing these missing person cases for a really long time. And whenever I arrive to a scene like this, I usually see a grid search. I see canine units. We see a command post. We see the types of things that we're used to. But there is nothing. There is no sign of a search going on right now where we are in Oklahoma.
So this is why I was distressed. And can I just ask our control room to roll that video that they were just showing as Laura was showing us that location that now all of a sudden that the cross has shown up in that spot where the women disappeared. Laura, there was a truck on the left-hand side of the screen. Is that the black truck that you were referring to, or was it another black truck?
No.
That was their vehicle.
It was another black truck. What you see there on the screen is we have vehicles that belong to us, and it was further down the road. So it was right where the highway and the road met, and this truck kind of pulled in. Now, were we near somebody's private?
Oh, okay. And they're bringing up a good point right now that actually, because I was kind of going through in my head, what could be going on? Could this be why everyone in the area is scared to talk? Is there threatening going on behind the scenes? Things like that. Very possibly. Could they have potentially, and we'll get the answer in just a second, could it have been someone who owned the land and they're like, you know what, hell, I don't want my land to become, some tourist mecca for true crime people? I don't know. But yeah, we'll listen to
private property. We might have been. I'm from California, and so a lot of these roads lead to, vineyards. But we have described, and we took some drone video today as well. But yeah, you can see that cross. It has their names on it. Who placed it there? It looks like this is the spot where the SUV was found. The drone footage that we took earlier, we specifically did to show everybody just how rural this area is. You've been hearing us talk about it. You've been hearing Brooke Schaefer mention it as well. But we wanted to get up and out and show you that as far as the eye can see, there's a lot of terrain to get to. It's a lot of farmland. There are some pig farms that are nearby, which are easy to spot and smell as you're driving down the road. But as far as the location, the gas station that's right behind me does have a flyer from the OSBI with the women's faces on it, Veronica and Jilian. We walked in and we talked to the gas station attendant, a young lady, and we asked her how she was working there alone. We said, "How are you feeling? What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm nervous. We just don't know what's going on. I'm checking in with my family, and they're calling to ask me if I'm okay because I'm sitting here at this cash register alone," and you can't blame her.
There was a picture that...
And there's no information. See, that's the thing. You've got people who are worried. Okay, whether they're worried about local, intimidation, threats, whatever, if that's happening, and I'm not saying that is happening at all, but that's a potential, or they're worried about some person out there who might be trying to hurt people. Okay, especially if you think about now, this neighborhood, some of these people may not have been realizing how dangerous the area was. And now we're hearing how dangerous the area is with trafficking and stuff like that. So it's like, that makes you scared on top of everything else.
Your drone video caught just a bit ago, and it looked like maybe that was one of the industrial pig farms that you were talking about. Is that one of those facilities? Because I have to be honest with you, in the absence of any information from authorities, there's all sorts of crazy rumors about pig farms and how they might be involved in all of this. I mean, the rumor mill is on overdrive.
Yeah, rumor mill's going to get worse, too.
It is. And that is right down the road. In fact, that industrial pig farm is between the location where the SUV was found and the gas station where the women were supposed to have that supervised meetup to have Veronica's children handed off. And I also want to mention something that's really important here. 10 days before Veronica Butler and her friend went missing, there was a court filing. I printed it out. I read it on the plane right here. It is filed on March 20th, 10 days before. This was a bitter custody battle.
I think they do.
Was
too,
it involved in this?
Really
We don't know.
do.
And I also want to mention that I've been talking to a private investigator, not involved in this case, but knows the area well. And she said that there's a lot of human trafficking that goes on here. There's a lot of, because it is so rural, there are other things that happen. So while people are focusing on family matters and the bitter custody battle that was going on, there are other items to consider. Of course, the trucking industry, that we've got truckers up and down. You know, we just don't know. The OSBI is not telling us what's going on. We thought we might get an update from them today. They told me over the weekend, if there's not an update over the weekend, we'll talk to you on Monday. Well, here it is, and we don't have an update from them, not an official one, other than them telling us that they're really busy.
23 hours
Thank you
ago.
for watching.
So,
go to newsnationnow.com.
Thank you, BC, for sending that. And that's interesting what you say, that you've watched other YouTube channels that have been out searching and all, and they've had the same thing happen. Now, could it be someone who was involved? Could it be someone who's just trying to get their own? We have trolls here on the internet. You have real life trolls too, who are literally would be doing stuff like this just to get a rise out of people. So could it be that? Yeah, a lot of different potentials. I agree, Barbara. I have to believe down deep that's the reason why they're not putting warnings out and they're not speaking any further, is because they do have a good idea of what's going on and they're just trying to gather information together. It's kind of like this case that we're going into now. Okay, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs about the adopted mom. Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm screaming like crazy about it. And yet I'm like, okay, they can't just arrest people just to arrest people. So they have to get the case together. So getting back to that, and we've got just a couple things to show with this. We've been trying today, a couple of us have been trying to figure out timelines on this and all. But as I was mentioning, we had a teenager who was reported missing. And when law enforcement got involved in looking into all this, they discovered that the adopted teenager had a adopted sibling that is also missing and has also been missing for years. And no one ever reported that person missing. This is actually the case of two children who many people don't know when they went missing at this point. Police are right now trying to find out when, Blake and London, those are their adopted names. Okay, Blake Deven and London Deven went missing. The two were born, Blake was born Trenton Dwayne Schuler, and London was born Mariah Elizabeth Foster. Now, guys, one of my first issues I have, and I'm sorry, I know there's probably people, and I'm kind of giving you some of my thoughts before I even get into this case. One of the issues that I do have, because it happened with Ariel, is when people take a child and adopt that child, you're going to change their last name. Yeah. But if a child knows their name, they've developed an identity to begin with. And then when you're changing their names, and in this case, Trenton Dwayne turned to Blake something else. I forget what the middle name is. So, I mean, complete change of names. But anyhow, both of them were adopted, fostered, then adopted. I've been able to pull together some of the actual timelines. Thank you, CLBC. And been able to get a good idea as to when they were fostered out. Yeah, Everett Joy is amazing at doing it. She's amazing. So let's do this. I was going to go through the police did do a press conference. Because of the time right now, I can pretty much share most of the stuff from that press conference. Have a timeline and all that. So, but basically the two children, let me give the dogs a new treat, shut them up. And ended up, let's start with Blake first, who was the one who was discovered missing initially. They're thinking right now the last that he was seen was 2022, so 2 years ago. And this child was just mentioned. He kept Trent as one of the middle names. He did do Trent, okay, but it is odd to change the first names. Trenton, okay, got it. Yeah, there's definitely both of these, okay. Trenton or Blake was adopted at the age of pulled out of custody at around 3 years old. Okay, 3 to 4 years old. London was last seen by her family, biological family, at 5 years old. And so, long story short, children are pulled from that's, you know what, that's not something we're here to discuss with that. Okay, we do have the dates, at least with Blake. Blake actually was put into the system in February of 2011, around 4 years old. He was then put into foster care in May of 2011, then adopted July 2013. And at that time we had both children were there. The family moved to Fayetteville in 2015, so he would have been about 9 years old at that time. As for other things, we do have an interview, and I'm going to show you the interview in a second, of a neighbor who did see both of these children when, Blake was around 12, 2018. And we have heard the last place Blake was seen was a Walmart in 2022, which would have put him at age 15, which is kind of interesting on its own. London, on the other hand, was last seen in 2019. So we're talking, 5 years ago was the last time she was seen. She's never been reported missing, ever. There is some discussion whether or not she was never reported missing because she was older when she disappeared. So, weird. Okay, it's plain and simply weird. Her biological mother, has been looking for her forever. And you can see one child going missing, or two, or whatever, but are they being reported? How are they being reported? Why is no one knowing things are going on? Okay, I'm going to pull up real quickly 2 overlays about, oops, sorry, my mom just came in. So this is actually something that was posted okay, about Blake from his aunt. Okay, so and you can see from here the fear that they have with everything going on. Okay, we've been recently contacted by the FBI that he's missing and has been missing for approximately 5 years. Please share this. He was born in Buncombe County and was ripped away from us and put in foster care by Madison County DSS. He's apparently missing from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, they have looked at a house. They actually went into a house, full force suits, everything. And we haven't heard anything that came out of that yet. Trenton, if you see this, Aunt Randy loves you. Okay, always. And I have never given up hope on being reunited with you. The next one broke my heart to actually come across. This is actually London's mom. So Mariah's mom. Mariah's mom posted this. Look at the date here. This was in 2022. She lost her child. And again, it doesn't matter what happened. A long story short, something happened and she was adopted. Okay, now I know her name is London. This is 2022, November, right before Thanksgiving. I know her name's London. Her adopted mom is Ava, Deven. Okay, my daughter was almost 5 years old the last time I've seen her. Then I was given up-to-date picture when she was a teenager. Now she's 26. All I want is to see her and see if she's safe. She's probably married now. So a lot of people have made comments that her mother has been regularly posting on Facebook over the years about Mariah. Okay, birth name Mariah, adopted name London. And now she's finding out her daughter's missing. So let me pull you guys up the video so you guys can get a little bit more detailed. If we have time, I'll go through the press conference, but let's do these other ones first. Let's see, share the screen. Of course, it freezes again. My computer is not. Oh, I know why. Because I'm sharing an overlay. It doesn't want to do that if I have an overlay, does it? No. Okay, let's do this. 12. Nope, still not doing it. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just gonna pull it up again separately. Yeah, that's what's happening. So let me do this real quickly. Let me pull it up again and then we'll be fine. In a second, of course. So while I'm pulling this up, guys, sorry, I should have just rebooted my computer. I thought it was okay because it had been off for the last few days. But it's definitely a little strange that adopted mom didn't report them until the bio mom started asking. Exactly. You know, Chris, I'm hearing, and if anyone can verify this or not, I've heard that the reason why the whole case started was the adopted mom was called up the police to report that Blake, Trenton had gone missing. I think people probably started getting questions, and wondering, and maybe she's like, oh, I'm not going to be able. If I know I'm jumping to the thought that they're related, she's related to all this. She may be related, she may not be related to this case, but something triggered her to make that phone call. And so based off of that, I think that's when the phone call came. Now, she probably thought if she'd be able to say, because guys, we got to be realistic about this. How many times do we hear law enforcement not take a case seriously because the child's a teenager, right? So I think there might be, if she's involved, and this is an if, if a child disappears and they're a teenager, well, you can just say they ran away or something like that. And they may have run away. We don't know. But you know what? Hopefully they're going to find out here. People have mentioned, could London have gotten away because she was older at the time and then come back and grabbed him at some time? We don't know what happened. That's the problem. We need to know exactly what happened to to these two children. Their families put them into the care of the system, expecting that they would be taken care of. And so it needs to. So here we go.
Fayetteville in that strange missing persons case surrounding Blake and London Deven.
Yeah, just less than 30 minutes ago, Fayetteville police holding a news conference sharing more on this bizarre case. Police Chief Ken Braden says Blake Deven was last seen at a Walmart on Ramsey Street, that police and the FBI searched a residence where the Deven family previously lived. And ABC 11 now learning from court records that Blake and London Deven were adopted by a woman named Avante Emerald Deven in 2013 and 2011, respectively. Police say they've regularly been in contact with Deven through this investigation.
We need the public to help us piece together this timeline. Anyone who may have contact, any knowledge of either two of these children or the family, please contact the Fayetteville Police Department or the FBI.
Okay, so there's our first thing. Seal, have you heard what story? Yeah, I'm not sure, Seal, if you've caught anything else on that one yet. So that came out right after. Now, some of the people have been saying, because they did ask, for example, have all the families, okay, the adopted mom, Avante Emerald Deven, has she been okay working with the police? And they say she has been. They hope they continue to work with them and all that. Got it, Joy. And let me see here. Let me get to my comments real quick. Everett, I wandered away from my parents at the age of 36, but then I came back at 37. I met a friend online that I thought was good, but learned my... And you got it. As we get older, those things happen. And that's why we have to be, is there the possibility that they did wander away? Okay, these are those ages. What is weird, though, considering that, is not reporting to anyone that the children are missing. The very small number of pictures. If you go looking at pictures and all, there's very few. The last photo of Blake, okay, of Trenton, born Trenton, adopted as Blake, okay, 2012. The kid was, 2012. We're talking 8 years ago is the last time we have a picture. And that makes sense, Seal, because it looks like, for example, London's mom, okay, Mariah's mom, kept wanting to find her, was looking for her, and lost track of them too. I think when they all moved from one location to another, that became an issue there. Other things that I'm trying to go through some of the timeline with that. So 2012 is the last photo of Blake. The last photo of London was his age 12, 2007. So that's when we start getting into more and more things that just don't sit right. Okay, something doesn't feel right. Who has a child and you don't have any photos of them from 2007 until they disappear in God knows what time frame? We're estimate maybe 2022. We don't know. Okay. No. In London's case, 2019. She was last seen in 2019. So 2012 to 2019, no pictures of her. Those are things that say stuff. No school pictures. Where were the children going to school? Now, they could have been being homeschooled, and that's totally fine. But there should be some kind of communication going on, okay, in connection with that homeschooling. Where is that communication? And so next thing, which came out actually this afternoon, was actually a really, really cool interview that they were able to have with a gentleman who lived across the street from the family. And really, really cool. You can get a little bit of Blake's personality, that Blake was kind of like a little troublemaker. Okay, he would like to get into, normal kid. My brother. It sounds like my brother, actually. He was always getting into things and having fun outside playing. And he remembers, watching the kids play. He said he did think and I'm pulling it up right now to share with you guys, he does remember seeing a teenager. He said while the picture that he saw of Blake is definitely the kid he remembers seeing, the other picture, okay, and you guys can look up here above there. The pictures are age progressed for Blake. Because, I mean, there's a huge difference between a child in 2012 when he's, what, about 11, 9 years old, something like that. And big red flags going on in this case. So he did see a teenage girl. He said it doesn't necessarily look like the girl that we're seeing in the pictures as London, but he says it looked enough like her. Because, of course, the picture of London we're seeing is of a preteen. And as a teenager, you're not going to look the same. So something's going on with that. So let me pull that up real quickly. Here we go.
Spent most of yesterday searching this home, the former home of Blake and London Deven, looking for clues in her disappearance. The two haven't been seen in years and were just recently reported missing. Only on WREL, our Fayetteville reporter Gilbert Bay spoke with a neighbor who recalled his interactions with the children years ago.
Well, the crime scene tape and investigators are gone, but what we've learned is Ava Maxwell lives at this house and she's been taking care of foster children for years. And we were shocked by what she told one neighbor she did with Blake Deven. It's been 7 years since James Howard moved into this house on Berrydale Drive. It's across the street from the one that Blake and London Deven lived in as children. Howard said.
So let me go back for this second. So you got to realize these are the last known pictures that we have of these two children. Okay. Children who, in theory, disappeared at the age of 15. Okay. And 23. Because we're being told London was last seen by family members, adopted family members, when she was 23. Okay, so and that's why maybe they didn't report her missing, was because of the age. And I don't know why they didn't report Blake missing if he was 15. Okay, they should have reported that. And no matter what. But if you're looking at these kids, they're going to be hard to recognize. That's why the police have such a hard problem right now in creating a timeline, because there are literally years that they're having to track for now. It's just nuts. Chris, there's some discussion on the homicide thing. I think there's some with that. There's also, because of the time going on with these two cases, the case was actually being covered by homicide, and which was throwing a lot of people off initially also. I was taking a look at some stuff. So Maxwell is her mom. Seal is, yeah, Maxwell is her mom. Yeah, no, Maxwell, the one, are you talking Seal, the one that I showed the article, the Facebook post that we were sharing, or am I kind of lost right? I could be lost right now too. So
Howard says he last saw them about 6 years ago during Christmas, but remembers Blake like it was yesterday.
You kind of been following this here, but if you look at this picture right here, is that the boy that you saw?
Yes, sir. But like I said, him. I seen him enough because, like I said, he was actually roam around that yard and the house and stuff.
Look at that look on his face, guys. When I first saw that, okay, it is just complete, utter, you can see the memory in his head, and it's a good memory. This kid is a great kid, and so yeah.
Doing things.
Howard says the picture of London is younger than the teenage girl he saw at the house, but he's pretty sure that's who it is. He says they were foster children being taken care of by Ava Maxwell. She still lives at the house. I knocked on the door to see if she would talk, but no answer. The last time the neighbors saw the children was around Christmas 6 years ago.
The girl would come out, stand by the mailbox, and she would smoke a cigarette. At the time, she was probably about maybe 17 years old.
Investigators say London Deven is now 27 years old. Court papers say she and Blake are siblings. Howard says Blake was a little mischievous and recounts a conversation he had with his foster parent.
I seen him all run across the street and almost got hit by a car. That's what really brought him to my attention. Maybe probably about a month later, the lady came across and said she had sent him back to the state.
So James Howard is doing exactly what investigators want. They'd like for...
So, yeah, I'm catching where we're all going with that. Yeah, because the adopted mom is Avante Emerald Deven. And so that definitely is going on with them there. And Maxwell is, yes.
Folks to share their last interaction with Blake in London to help them resolve this case. In Fayetteville, Gilbert Bays, WRAL News.
The Fayetteville police say the FBI is still analyzing the evidence taken yesterday from the children's foster home.
Okay, sorry, I have no idea what just happened there, but something started playing on my phone. And so
right now,
this is where my concern is coming. And Dan, you just brought up where one of my concerns is coming right now. We don't know what happened here. We know there are two people, children, teenagers, whatever. She sent them back. Yeah. There's a lot. I'm still, in fact, right now, as we're going through all this, we're starting to make new connections in here. And that's what the police are doing. That's what the police need. As many of those who lived in the neighborhood, in various neighborhoods, whatever, to call and to start filling in the blanks, because it's going to lead us to whatever happened. And I got news for you. If these two kids just ran away, chances are they're going to hear this news fairly soon, and they're going to come and say, oh, no, it's okay. At least one of them, there's a good chance at least one of them will do that. Okay, what are the other? My initial biggest fear was, because we have heard about adopted children cases that went into trafficking and all that, but at the ages, it does not make sense. So what happened? Because my biggest fear is exactly where Dan is talking. There are other children here. She fostered how many children? She adopted how many children? Okay. Are there other children that are unaccounted for? Okay, and that's where, especially if they moved, I don't know. At one point they were in, where they were most recently was Cumberland County. Before that, it was Madison County. So they need to be looking at all this. I know Madison County Social Services has been pretty forthcoming with press releases and stuff like that. So Dan is saying she adopted at least 5 children, but more than likely more. 3 of them are accounted for. So that's the 2. So you're saying the 2 are what are left? She's also adopted Blake's 2 younger siblings. Okay, she also adopted a child who is now 25 and has since disowned her. Interesting. See, there's a lot trying to find out. And right now, guys, I'll be honest, there's one group on Facebook talking about this. There's a lot of discussion on Reddit and Web Sleuths about it. So what if she did send them back to the state and they were just not logged in correctly? Very fair possibility. Very fair possibility. Okay, was it an issue at that point? But my feeling is we're seeing this stuff on a national level, locally. Okay, and unless he's moved on to another state or something like that, they should be hearing these things and reporting stuff. But yeah, my biggest fear has been, are there other children involved in this? Because we're recognizing other stuff. And Chris, yeah, I need to find out about that other bit, because I was kind of going in that direction. Then I kind of found information that pulled me back. Actually through Web Sleuth, someone figured out what had happened, because it wasn't being covered by the missing people department like normal. And that's what threw a lot of people into thinking a different direction. So, but yeah, I need to find out what that, if there was an unconnected homicide case, what that wasn't. Okay, is it completely unconnected now, and it just has gone separate ways, or what? So, because that's how we unfortunately get a lot of different stuff going on. Luckily, it seems like the police are being pretty open about stuff. I'm looking at the time. Sorry, guys. I'm a little scattered today because I've got rehearsal tonight. So I want to make sure I get everything in without messing up stuff. But what they did say on the, if you, Chris, if you've got the link to that, okay, where you came up with that, because I'm wondering if it's what I was hearing or if it's something separate. Because if it was what I was hearing, then I think it's actually just the department is what threw people off. So what they are saying, just to go through the timeline here. Okay, I wanted to kind of finish this whole thing by going through the timeline. Around 2007 is the most recent available photo of London. So that's the last photo that we have of London, the one that you're seeing in the upper corner here and on the thumbnail. Okay, in February of 2011, Madison County Department of Social Services, took Blake, Jilian, Trenton, Deven into custody. Okay, and they were able to put him into foster care in May of that year. Now, the next year is the most recent photo we have of him. Literally, it's ridiculous that we don't have more pictures. And now that one was according to CBS. There might actually be a new photo that I'm thinking about now. I'll check. July 2013, he was adopted by the family. And in 2015, they moved to Fayetteville. 2019 is the last time that anyone in the family, Deven family, saw London. At that time, she was 23 years old. Because of her age, they're saying no one ever reported her missing because she was in her 20s and she has a right to leave at that point. 5 years ago, Blake's aunt, who has posted to Facebook, said that they hadn't seen Blake in 5 years. And as far as they knew, from the time that she got Blake, she homeschooled him. It's unclear if this means that Blake's adoptive mom had taken in his biological siblings or not. And that goes with what you guys were saying a few minutes ago, that she potentially adopted his other siblings. 2022 was the last time anyone in the Deven family saw Blake. He was 15 years old at the time. He was not reported to the police, as missing. Police have gone through all of their records. They have nothing showing that he was ever reported. Other reports are saying that the police have not confirmed it, but it's kind of come out that according to the NCMC, 2022 is the date that they're putting that he was last seen. August 1st, 2022, Blake has been missing from that day onward, according to NCMEC. Now, how are they coming up with that date? We are hearing something about Walmart on Ramsey Street. Now, I'm not sure, is that a photograph? Is it video? Is it a picture on someone's phone? I don't know. And true, BC, and that's why some people have said, could she have left at that age? And maybe when, Blake got old enough to be like, I don't want to be here anymore, she came and picked him up. That's why getting this out as far as possible. Yes, they're going to take care about local, but we need to hit the rest of the U.S. Because what if they are in Salem, Oregon? I'm throwing out a name of a place. Unless they hear this, they may not even know they're being looked for at this point, if that's what happened. This February 2024, Blake's biological mother, who has no custody of Blake, says she was informed by Fayetteville police that Blake was missing in February. Now, that is according to WRAL News. Of course, we're also hearing potentials of Okay, were they reporting things? Okay, contacting the adopted mom, and then maybe adopted mom turned around and made the phone call, and then they got the phone call back from police. He's nowhere to be found. March 27th. Okay, so what, 2 weeks ago or so, just about. Police conducted interviews in a separate investigation, and family members mentioned not having seen Blake in years. So I'm wondering if that's what you're talking about, Chris. That's why I'm going through this, because I'm wondering if this is where we can kind of connect some of the discussion. March 27th, so the same day, Fayetteville police began searching properties associated with the Deven family. As of right now, they have looked at 3 different departments, 3 different houses. Music City Mom, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, welcome, welcome in, my dear. And so there's at least 3 houses, and you know what? They're across state lines in at least one case. What we got, one of their adoptive siblings, who is now 25, was adopted as a young child, left home when she turned 18. Pretty much disowned Ava as her adopted mom. So yeah, it's very possible. And that's why I'm trying to I want to run and say, this is what I think happened. But, you know, the more you look at it, the more you start realizing, could the 2 have walked away? Especially with that age. Okay, it's not like a 6 or 7-year-old disappearing. Could they have walked away? And no one knows. They don't know that they're missing at this point. I can almost guarantee you these kids were not told about their biological families much. If there was really no communication with the biological family, do you think that she was talking to the children about their biological families? Probably not. And if you were adopted at the age of 3 years old, you're probably not going to remember much. And you're tired. I get you. I slept 12 hours last night. So that's some of what's going on. Lot of weird things going. This is just literally starting to break right now. Even though Blake was missing, we've known about it for a few days now. Okay, for a few weeks now, actually. The London portion is just starting to kick off now. So I haven't made posters yet. I do need to make posters. I'll try to work on those tonight, if not tomorrow morning, maybe. But we can take a look at that. But right now, I think what is important is, and what the police are saying, is they need people to contact them. People who, if you ever knew, and guys, I'm saying this here because, guys, I know that people come to these, they see a name here, and I'll see in my comment section, oh, hey, yeah, I knew so-and-so, or I knew so-and-so, or things like that. That's why I'm saying this here. If you ever knew Blake or London, okay, if you knew the adopted mom, okay, the whole Deven family, call the police and let them know what you know, because they're trying to figure out when all this happened. Seal is saying there was an investigation into the prior foster family losing a child. Somehow it led to Blake's adoptive mom. Not sure. Interesting. I'll have to look at that. Hopefully some of the other kids can, and that's a biggie right there. It looks like Blake has siblings. What can those siblings tell law enforcement? I'm not sure the ages of the children or anything like that, but I'm sure they can tell law enforcement something. And a Cooter is in the house. Hello, Cooter. How you doing? Yeah, it's probably about over. Yeah, I kind of told myself I had to end at 5:30, and it's 5:33. I got to be at the theater at 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm back into rehearsals. Ain't it fun? And actually, it's a great show. A lot of fun with it. So, hey, Barbara, welcome to the family. Cassie, you get to say hi, Barbara, because she's part of the pup group. Cassie's like, I want to sleep. Let me sleep. You guys, oh my God, we were up on the North Shore the last few days, and these dogs had so much fun. I'm going to try to post. Like I said, my internet sucked up there, so I did not post everything I was doing, but I literally went out on the beach at one point and I had the dogs walking around and all that. It was so funny. I'll try to post that. So for those of you that are members, if you've got one of the emojis by your name, make sure to check the membership, because I've been doing the videos over on membership, because I really wanted to say thank you to those of you that are members, because you really, you mean the world to me. It just, I can't believe people would even want to be a member. So I really appreciate that. You guys have no idea what that means to me. So, but thank you and welcome, Miss Barbara. Writing, I'm hearing the storms are horrible. KK was saying that Texas and all was having like dangerous hail. And also, oh yeah, Music City Mom, definitely. We covered a lot of different cases today for an hour and a half, a hell of a lot of cases. And this case, I'm going to have to keep following. Come join us. So if you guys don't know, we do have Discord. Oh my gosh, look at Cooter. 8 months and counting. Yay. Oh my God, 8 months. Yes. And we have our Discord. Please feel free to join Discord. We also have our Facebook group up now. My computer's doing one of those freeze things again, so I can't seem to do much of anything. I need to buy me a new computer. That's what I got to do. And but come join us over at the Local My Life on Facebook. We're trying to have a little fun there. You are getting storms tomorrow and the next couple of days. Actually, I love a storm. How many of you guys love storms? I mean, lightning, thunder, okay, all that. I love that stuff. I live for a good thunderstorm. And unfortunately, in Hawaii, we don't get thunderstorms often. We kind of like twice a year, we get a time period that is conducive to them. Seal, thank you. I was wondering if someone might get the thought, okay, if I said it, because I literally am clicking my button, my Chrome button at the bottom and Safari, and nothing is opening up. So, but the Facebook group actually, and if you're watching on Facebook, another way you can watch, always fun. I'm hearing the weather is nuts and everything. So, Seal got it. Seal got the group. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Love you, my dear. And also, but come join us. Yeah, let's talk about these cases a little bit more. Especially this one, because I can't figure out, I don't know what's going on with this one right now. I say that a lot, but this one, at first I was like, okay, yeah, she did something, boom, 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 and all that. Now I'm like, could they have ran away? Could they have ran away? And we just need to find them. And also that they can come back home to their family. I'm going to choose that in my head right now, because that gives hope. And like you guys know, hope is everything. So. But anyhow, you are in, Barbara, I used to live in Missouri. I used to live in Fort Leonard Wood, also known as Fort Lost in the Woods. Those were during my best years as a kid. You know, those preteen years that you just have fun. We used to go hiking in the woods and we had our own tree house. And yes, we would have tornadoes and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh my God, that was so much fun. So, but yeah, Cooter, Louisiana, it might not be a good place for you if you don't like storms, girl. And not at all. So anyhow, I got to get headed out. I got to be at the theater in 22 minutes. I can make it. Yeah, sure I can. No, I won't. But theater, yeah, they can deal. It's Hawaiian time. Okay, also known as Cooter time. Okay, Hawaii time, Cooter time, they run together. So it works out. So anyhow, love all of you guys so much. Continue sharing out. Ooh, Illinois. One of these days, we're going to find out where everyone's from. Yep. And then I'm going to go track each and every one of them. And so, oh my God. What's funny is how many of you guys live in places where each of us have connections, whether it's family or whatever. But anyhow, I better go this time. So I will talk to you guys later. I think tomorrow, Sleuth and I will be together doing a live. I have no idea what channel we're in, though. So we will figure that one out. So if you guys have something you'd like us to talk about, let us know. You never know. We might actually listen to you, or we might ignore you. You never know. So, ooh, Patsy Cline. Oh, in the show. Music City Mom, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm assistant directing. That's the only reason why I got to be there. Rehearsal doesn't start till 6:30, but I have to be there at 6 just in case people show up early. So, but anyhow, I am going to go listen to a couple of lives as I drive on into town. So, aloha, guys. Thanks. And thank you so much. My mom wanted me to say for all of the birthday wishes. I'm going to try to get a video from her to you guys. Thank you. She loved it. I sat there and I read all the messages for birthday wishes to her, and she absolutely loved it. And also thank you guys. So aloha. Love you guys all. Justice for everyone. Exactly, Marianne. I like that. I like that. Justice for everyone.